Well, hey everybody, I'm Eddie Provident. This is DK Pittsburgh Sports. You're watching Steelers Today. With me as always is Dale Lolley. No, I'm not Dale Lolley, and I'm here to help you because you're terrible at this. This show is brought to you by BetQL, the only app that you're gonna need to get a jump on your sports book and get the advantage that you want for your betting. But what is going on right now? They scan over 350,000 unique bets per year to give you a best bet advantage over all of your bets for all major sports. Hey, and you know what else it does? It covers everything. Baseball, football, hockey, every single sport, every single bet that you can think of. You don't need your phone for this one. Their algorithms look at everything, historical data, but weather, matchups, performance, anything that you can think of, their algorithms cover it. Go to try.betql.co/DKPS to get started now, or if you just download the BetQL app, you make your life easier. Use the discount code DKPS at checkout. Right now, if you use DKPS at checkout, you get 25% off any subscription. And if you use the BetMGM offer, you get $200 towards any wager, whether it wins or loses. BetQL's algorithm went 13-2 on 5-star bets in week 1 of the NFL season between Thursday and Sunday. So make sure that you take advantage of BetQL now. All the information is in the description below. Check out the link try.betql.co/DKPS. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Steelers Today. I'm Eddie Provident. With me is Dale Lolley. You're watching DK Pittsburgh Sports. Dale, Ben Roethlisberger spoke today and his normal Wednesday press conference. I know yesterday Tomlin said he was having a little bit of a hip injury. Did he say anything on that, or how's he talking about how he looks and feels?
Essentially, he said basically it's bruised up. He probably took a helmet to the hip or something along those lines. Those things happen. I'm sure there's some stiffness there, some soreness. I'm sure they'll stretch him out on Sunday, and he'll be ready to go against the Denver Broncos on Sunday. He did talk today about after the game. Ben said, on some of the throws, this is just the overhead view that he was looking at. He said, he thought he dropped his elbow on some of his throws. He said today it was more of a lower body issue, in terms of not having his feet aligned or his hips aligned with where his target was, or having just not driving into the throws as much as he should have, or overstriding, some things like that. And if you coach pitching at all, you know what those kind of things can do to the throws, make it sail a little bit, make it offline, those kind of things. So he feels like the problems are mechanical, not in terms of a loss of skill set. Although I will say, as you get older, the throws that you could make that were when your hips aren't aligned correctly and you just kind of make an arm throw, those aren't there like they used to be probably. But I think when you start to overcompensate perhaps for some things, but these are fixable things for Ben Roethlisberger, and that's what I expect him to work on this week. The offense is getting better. I know people don't see it because there aren't tangible results, they're not winning games, but the offense has been better. It was better against Green Bay. I saw the progress that I wanted to see out of the offense in Green Bay. They scored on the first, opening possession of the game. They hadn't done that in forever.
In 11 games, right?
They ran the ball effectively. Again, Najee Harris was only stopped for one loss on his 14 carries. That had been about a 50-50 thing in the first few games. So, you wanted to see that kind of progress being made. That being said, the Denver Broncos will offer a much different test. This is a much better defense than what they faced in Green Bay.
Yeah, and going back to Ben Roethlisberger, I think you really hit a really good point about as you get older as a quarterback in the NFL, you can't make a lot of those arm throws like you used to. And I think a quarterback with the style that Ben Roethlisberger was when he was younger, where he would just run around. And I mean, there was a highlight pack going around on Twitter the other day of like some of his best plays where he'd just run around until he found somebody open, and then he just let it rip. And you can't, as Tomlin alluded to yesterday, flat out said it yesterday, that he doesn't have the mobility that he used to have. So that's one problem. And the second problem is, you're right, that arm strength, that lower body strength to get the ball there, it's just not there anymore as a 39-year-old quarterback that's been in the league for 18 seasons. And so it's almost as if he's got to relearn how to play the quarterback position to a degree and play it more out of the pocket or in the pocket rather than out of the pocket, running around like a madman.
Well, I think they did that last year, and that was why the ball was getting out so quickly and those kind of things. But then defenses adjusted.
Right.
And so now you have to readjust. It's like going through the league the first time as a hitter or a pitcher in Major League Baseball. The league is going to adjust and find the holes in your swing. Well, defenses have now found the holes in Roethlisberger's game. Okay, he can't throw this, he can't make this throw like he used to, or he can't make that throw. Now, how do you readjust to that? We're starting to see some of that. And it's not all him. The receivers have not helped him out. If you look back at, I know everybody's harping on the throws to Juju. Juju was at fault on those as well. I know nobody wants to hear that.
And he said as much. Juju said as much.
He's not exactly where he needs to be in those cases. And quite frankly, I didn't think he gave the best effort on in those situations. So, it's not just the quarterback. The quarterback does get a lot of the blame offensively when things don't go right. And I get that. That goes along with the position. He's got the ball in his hands on every play. But to think, that suddenly Mason Rudolph is going to fix that.
That's the thing. We talk about Ben not being as mobile as he used to be, but if you look at the two quarterbacks behind him, they're not going to fix anything mobility-wise.
They're more mobile than he is at this point. There's no doubt about that.
It's not a high bar, though.
It's not a high bar. But you don't necessarily have to be a mobile quarterback. I know everybody. If you're looking for a quarterback coming out of college, yes, mobility is a big factor in that. Yeah. Tom Brady's not mobile.
Nope.
I could name half a dozen guys. Aaron Rodgers doesn't run like he used to.
No.
There are a lot of guys out there who are very effective in terms of playing quarterback in the NFL, and the mobility is not great.
It's not a thing, yeah.
Yeah. So if you have a better if the offensive line is playing better, then the mobility. Nobody's talking about his mobility or lack thereof.
And I realize that harping on the offensive line and harping on better effort from the receivers and from the skill players. I realize that's not the sexy thing to talk about, and that's not the fun thing to talk about. It's not the easy thing to talk about.
Everybody wants to make the easy. Everybody wants the easy fix. An easy fix as well. Just change quarterbacks.
Listen, if it was an easy fix, me and you wouldn't be sitting here talking to this camera. We would probably be in there because it's an easy fix. There is no easy fix. Speaking of easy fixes, when we come back, we'll talk about the defense and why just getting T.J. Watt back on the field wasn't the quote-unquote easy fix to stop Aaron Rodgers on Sunday. All right, welcome back to Steelers Today. I want to talk a little bit about the defensive side of the ball because I'm of the opinion that with this offense and the way that it's built, the defense has to be not just pretty good. They have to be one of the best defenses in the league. And one of the things that concerned me on Sunday against the Packers, Dale, was how much difficulty they had getting off the field. We saw, and again, it's Aaron Rodgers, I understand that, but they had a really hard time, especially on third down, getting the Packers off the field. You look at a couple of those fourth quarter plays on that last drive for the Packers. It was like looked easy for Aaron Rodgers.
What's Aaron Rodgers? I mean, that's the thing. They were playing with a light box to try to entice the Packers into running the football, which is certainly a more, I guess, it's a safer way to play against the Packers. They didn't want to let anything over the top. They didn't want Devontae Adams to go out and have 9 catches for 200 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Have a Ruggs repeat or a Jamar Chase repeat. Yeah,
I get it. You wanted to do that, and so Rodgers' numbers by Rodgers' standards were somewhat pedestrian. He was 20 of 46, or 20 of 36, which isn't a great completion percentage. I think he had 246 yards or something along those lines. Again, not great, but the thing that they were hoping to be able to shut down the run a little bit better with just a 7-man box or 7 guys up there. Weren't able to do it effectively. They did stop Aaron Jones. They weren't able to stop A.J. Dillon quite as well. A much bigger back, a younger back with fresh, he's thick. He's so big.
He is.
I saw him at the Combine a couple of years ago. He's just a big dude.
I always remember the game that he had his last year at Boston College against Pitt where he smoked Pitt, man. Like it was bad.
So, I mean, that's when you're putting Aaron Rodgers in 3rd and 4 and 3rd and 3, 3rd and 5, that's like stealing for him.
Yeah.
If you looked at it, and I broke it down after the game, When they got them in 3rd and 9, 3rd and 10, they won most of those situations. Yes, they gave up a couple, but they won the majority of those. But it was just too many 3rd and 4s, 3rd and 5s in that range, and he's just going to get that every time.
Do you think that's something long-term to worry about, or do you just think this was a case of Aaron Rodgers and the Packers offense?
You're playing Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay. You know, Drew Lock or Teddy Bridgewater is not going to
do that.
No, not going to consistently do that to you.
When we have the home crowd, the Steelers have the home crowd this time, and
don't start dropping this wee stuff.
I know. Listen, it's something I got to get out of, man. I've been a fan my whole life. I'm 2 months in the media. It's coming.
Well, as some posters will tell you on this podcast, I'm not a fan, and I don't profess to be a fan. I've never been. I'm just telling you. I'm giving you the diagnosis.
I think my nickname in the comment is Eddie Yinzer, so in the comment section. But no, I don't think the defense is anything to worry about long term. The one name that before we get out of here, I do want to mention though, because Pro Football Focus seems to not like him at all this year, is Minkah Fitzpatrick. And, we talked about, Chad and I this afternoon talked about it on our show. I don't get why they are grading him so badly. Look, I get there was 1 or 2 plays.
Don't pay any attention to the Pro Football Focus grades. They've got some guy that they pulled off a street in Blanox who'd probably never played the game
Joey
before.
from McKee Sports.
and he's watching. Most of the time, you can't see what the safeties are even doing on those tapes, so they guess. There's a lot of guesswork going on. Don't pay attention. Is Minkah Fitzpatrick playing great? No, I'm not gonna sugarcoat this for you. He's not playing up to the standard that's been set for him.
Here's what
But he's not like he's the worst safety.
This is the way I look at it. This is the way I look at it. If that blocked field goal isn't called back on a penalty, okay,
he wouldn't have gotten credit for that as a safety for playing safety. That was
right. But still, I just think the whole idea of Minkah this year, the whole narrative would change because he has another big splash play, and that's what he's known for. There was an interception that he dropped early in the game.
He's had some opportunities this year to make those plays, and he hasn't made them. He has made them in the past. I would expect that to change maybe as soon as this week. This is a guy who gets his hands on the football, makes plays. He works at it. I see him every day working on his hands and catching the football. For a guy with good hands to put as much work into it as he does, the interceptions are going to come.
It's again, we talked about this last week about pumping the brakes on the panic button. Look, they're 1-3. They looked better. I get why people want to panic, but
realistically, Eddie, they're 1-3 right now. When the schedule came out, did anybody have them better than 2-2?
I didn't. So
they're one game under the expectation.
Yeah, and I saw something yesterday. Every team they've played this year is 3-1 right now.
Now, part of that's because they beat the Steelers, but still.
But got to play who's in front of you. We'll see what happens this Sunday against Denver. I think that's all we got today. For Dale Lolley for DK Pittsburgh Sports, I'm Eddie Provident. Don't forget to check out BetQL. All of their info is in the description. Try.betql.co/DKPS. Take care and have a good one.